Hey, you guys, this is Holly from Hot Humble Pie. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and a big warm hello to my subscribers. I love you guys. Well, today we are going to be crafting some totally fun Easter DIYs. I love Easter and spring DIYs. They're right up there with Christmas and fall, and as always, I hope you enjoy the show. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you click that button. We're going to be starting off with this totally cute bucket I found at the Dollar Tree. Look at that. You don't even need to do anything to that. That is so cute. I'm leaving it that way. And these Dollar Tree wooden bunny cutouts. And I got this really pretty little small, like 4x6, I think, scrap paper. Look at all the pretty choices. I love that. And I ended up choosing the one right here that's like cream. It's supposed to be antiqued. See, it's kind of brown on the edge, but for this DIY, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, I hit the bunny with the glue stick, and now we're going to cut out the paper as much as possible with the scissors, and I'm going to take a nail file to clean up the edges, and this is what he looks like when we're all done. Isn't that cute? Next, we're going to take some foam. This is just some foam that I had in a package. I save everything. And we're going to fill this bucket up just so we don't have to use so much moss, because I'm grabbing the reindeer moss here, also from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to set that on top. I'm going to use a Dollar Tree skewer, and I'm going to place it down in the foam. And this is just to get a measurement so that I know where to cut the skewer down to, because we're going to use that to hold the bunny up. And I'm going to be gluing the bunny onto the skewer. So measure it, hot glue it on, stick him down, and hold that puppy together until he cures. I also wanted to show you this. It seemed like it held it a little bit better, was just to put strips of hot glue over the hot glue. Little tip there, it just kind of secures everything really nicely. You can also use ribbon and glue it down if you want a nice finish on the back, and glue it down on either side instead of the hot glue. I just did it with hot glue for now because this is going to sit on a shelf and face the drywall. No one's going to see the back of it. I'm taking some antique wax and I'm just going around the edges to give it some definition. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. And I'm just using regular Kleenex. You can tell because it's kind of fraying there, crumbling and falling apart, but it worked. And we're going to stick them back down into our little bucket. Then I added a raffia bow, and I was starting to put some flowers in there and carrots. I ended up switching that up, you'll see in a minute, because I didn't really like the way that was coming out. And I stuck a pink flower on his neck. It was more to cover up a piece of paper I tore, but it ended up looking really cute. We're going to grab these eggs from Dollar Tree. Now, I love the glitter eggs because they're already textured, so you don't have to add baking soda to your paint. You don't have to do anything. They kind of come out looking like little cement eggs, and then I like to make them different colors, Easter colors like pastel. I like the texture. I think that looks cool. So we're doing pink and lavender. And I'm just going to do, well, actually I did 3 altogether, but I only end up using the pink and the lavender one. Next, I'm going to take this little stamp set, and I'm going to use these little brown cards that I got from Temu, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp it with the word bunny. And I'm also going to take the antique wax and just antique that up a little bit too, just so that it kind of is cohesive and matches everything. We're in a theme here. And we're going to glue that tag on his neck like that. And that's what it looks like when we're all done. And we're going to stake the bunny back down into the bucket. Now we're going to place our eggs on top of the reindeer moss. Again, I'm just using the pink one and the lavender one. And I got some of these felt roses also from the Dollar Tree. I just thought those were bigger and they looked a little bit better, but I still want this smaller. I'm kind of building from big, like you would in a garden, where you put your taller bushes in the back and then your next ones, and you just kind of build forward all the way to the front. I put my roses in the back because they're bigger than my eggs, and then I just use these dainty little spring flowers in the front here because I think those look really cute and springy and Easterish. And I skip the carrots altogether. I think it came up gorgeous. Let me know what you think. Bet you guys recognize this is a Dollar Tree Christmas tree. They get them out every year, you guys. So if you don't have it in your craft stash right now, you can get it next year for sure. I decided to use this for this project. You might find something similar now in Dollar Tree though, in this shape, I'm not sure. But I removed all of the tinsel. It wasn't wired on, thank goodness. So I just pulled it off, and then we're left with this little cone underneath. Now I'm going to take some sisal rope, and I'm going to just start hot gluing it to the top of this. So I start with hot gluing it on the very top I'm showing you. See how there's like a ledge right there? You kind of have to start with that ledge on the very top or it won't work as nicely, I guess. The ledge is what really gives it, you'll see at the end, it gives it a nice curvature. And then I do put hot glue on the bottom of every single layer of sisal rope for this craft because sisal rope is kind of thicker and resistant. It doesn't really stick down really well on this, so I had to use glue for everything, and it took about an hour to do. It wasn't too bad, but it came up stunning, you'll see. Totally worth it. You can also use nautical rope for this in different colors. You can use string, yarn, whatever you think looks good. I just wanted this vibe here because it kind of looks like hay a little bit. I like the grass feeling of this. Kind of goes with the Easter basket theme, I think, where there's like grass in an Easter basket. So I'm using sisal rope. Now here you can see I'm gluing it on top of each other, but I'm purposely turning it in on an angle a little bit. So we're going inwards, and I don't know if that's really obvious at this point in the game, if you can tell, but you'll see at the end how I definitely went in at an angle. So when I glue, I left this in on purpose so you can see I kind of roll the rope a little bit inwards each time, so it keeps going towards the center. Like I said, when I'm done here, you'll see it'll come together. You'll see how it's definitely angled. It looks really sharp when it's finished. It looks great. So, not that I'm bragging, but look, that looks good. And you can totally tell what it is now, right? You guys, this is a carrot. That's a carrot shape right there. And I think it came up so cute. So I guess kind of like what you would do with a beehive, maybe. You go in at an angle. So there we have our carrot, right? Look at that. That's right. But it's stringy. This is Walmart sisal rope. It tends to have a little bit more string than the one on Amazon I ordered before, but no problem. I just singe it off without burning my house down, of course. And I like the smell. It smells good. And I don't mind the singed marks. If you don't like the singed marks, you can also take a razor blade and scrape it down to cut that string off because they're kind of crisp. A razor blade will catch them. It doesn't work so great with nautical rope, but it works good with sisal rope. Or you could cut them off. So this is a card kit that I got at Dollar Tree. It just came with brown cards and then brown envelopes, and I bought it because they're all kind of thick like cardstock, and I thought, oh, this will be really nice to make custom tags when I need the tag to be a little bit bigger to fit my craft. So I went ahead and I made a custom tag. I just cut it, poked a hole in it. We're adding some of the antique wax. I love that look to distress things a little bit, not a lot, but I like to distress a little bit. You can, of course, skip this part, but I just feel like it looks too one-dimensional and flat if you don't do something. So I just put a little bit, not a lot, but I just kind of add a little shadow there. And then we're using this bunny paper tag. I got it like in a set of like 50 or something, and I thought they would just be cute to add to things. And I went ahead and used a glue stick to glue that on because that was definitely not a sticker. And I'm going to go ahead and tie some of the Dollar Tree twine to the top of this tag and then thread it with 3 wooden beads just for some accent. And we're going to glue it on the inside of the carrot. And this is what it looks like when it's all done. I think that came up so elegant. All the colors are just kind of matching together and blending. It's definitely a very mature, grown-up Easter craft. This is for grown-ups for sure. It is great for primitive decor, farmhouse decor, and you certainly could add whatever you want to this. I'm adding some burlap ribbon here because I want this to hang on the wall. So I'm just going to use my hot glue to glue it on the inside. See, we've got it hanging. And then I'm going to cheat and use some Christmas pine because that's what I had in my stash. I felt like looked the most natural, like the top of a carrot. And I also added some boxwood or eucalyptus. I'm not sure. Someone tell me in the comments what that is right there. But you could add a bunny pick. You could add some raffia bow hanging off the side, trickling down. I mean, you could do this as fancy or simple as you wanted. I felt like I really wanted it to be nice and clean and simple. It's kind of a minimalist look, but I think it looks really elegant. For this one, we are taking Dollar Tree candlestick holders right there in the back and these wooden eggs. So this time I didn't want my wooden eggs to be wafer thin. So I went ahead and I took 3 of them and I glued all 3 together and I did a set of 3. So it's funny, I was counting these thinking, oh, they ripped me off. It shouldn't be because I had 3, 9, 10, 11. I had 11 and I thought, well, wait a minute, Dollar Tree never sells things in like odd numbers. It should be 12 or 10. It turns out it should be 10. They gave me an extra one, so I have an extra wooden egg. But anyway, we have 3 of them right there, and see how they're thicker. I just think it looks better for this craft. I'm going to go ahead and paint them using just apple barrel white acrylic paint, nothing fancy, and I'm going to paint the front and the back and the sides. And you could also take spackling if you wanted and like smooth the sides out, but I actually liked those grooves like that. I thought it gave it a look, kind of like a ribbon or texture or something. I don't know. I liked the edging on that. I thought that looked nice. And we're going to give it a quick blow dry so we can keep moving. I'm just showing you, I'm painting the back too, so you believe me. So these are some transfers I used in my recent video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It is window cling hacks. Really neat. I found out these are actually transfers. They're not window clings, and they are exceptional. I will leave the link in my, well, I'll put it in my description box and in the pinned comment, so you know where you can get them. But they are so strong that I am pretty sure they would stick on a glass or a plate and get through the dishwasher just fine. Like, they're gorgeous. So it took off some of the paint and naturally distressed the paint for me, so I didn't have to do that. It looks so cool. And then for this one, I decided to do a fairy. I'm actually making these for my daughter, and she loves fairies. She's been collecting fairies since she was like 13, so I still get them for her every now and then. So we have 2 wildflowers, like the little field the fairy would be in, and then we have the fairy in the middle. And then I just took some Dollar Tree twine. I wrapped it around 2 of my fingers. That's all I did. And I made a bow, just tied it in the center there. And that was just to cover the top hole up. You could always fill that in with spackling if you wanted, but I just felt like the top needed something. And I'm showing you here what I did. I just twirled it around 2 fingers, tied it in the middle, and then I glued where I tied it so that it wouldn't come undone, and then placed it over the hole. Next, I'm taking the antique wax again. I love my antique wax. You can use brown paint if you want. That would work too, or you can skip this. And I'm going to just give the edge a little bit of shadow so that it gives it some, I don't know, I like it. It's like a natural frame. And we're going to do that to all 3 eggs. And here I took some Spanish moss. I just glued it inside the center of these candle holders with hot glue. It's a good enough hold. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to hold it for the season. And I pushed it down, and I'm just giving it a little hair trim. You could leave it hanging over the edge if you want. It would just make it look like a bigger bird's nest, but I'm going to go ahead and use some more hot glue and glue these down on top. So I use the Spanish moss so that it has something to hold on to, and then I put extra glue on the side so it's actually sticking to the metal. It's very secure, and we're all done. For this one, you're just going to grab one of these Dollar Tree bunnies. Right here, they stand up on their own. They're really thick. They are so gorgeous. They're actually gorgeous on their own. You could just glue a flower on their neck, maybe distress it. I would distress it a little bit, of course, but they are so pretty to me just the way they are. But we're going to paint this white because for what I'm going to do, I need the background to be nice and bright. And we are going to paint the front, back, and the sides. Now we're just going to give it a quick blow dry, of course, so we can keep moving. And I'm using a glue stick for this. Now, of course, you can use Mod Podge if you want to and do the ironing trick. I don't have a little iron, but to me that's more work and it's not necessary because a glue stick works and it is perfect for keeping out the wrinkles. But we are going to be gluing on this gorgeous napkin. I got this from Amazon. I will leave the link down below in my description box if you're interested. But this is why I needed it white, by the way, because I wanted the blue and white. We're doing blue and white Easter theme right now. I wanted, I love it when it's that really big contrast of white and blue. I don't like it if if the bunny's beautiful because it's wood, but obviously it would dull the white part too much. And I wanted that to really pop. So this is why we had to paint him white. And then of course the sides and the back have to match too. And we just glued it on, pressed it down, cut off as much as we could with scissors, and now we're taking the nail file to clean it up. You know the drill. And look at how gorgeous. And I took it outside and sprayed it with some polyacrylic, and this is what it looks like when we're all done. So simple, so elegant. This is going to be so pretty in with all of my Easter decor. Let me know which one was your favorite in today's video. I would love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And of course, here's another video I think you'll enjoy watching next.